Hey everybody, what's up? I'm back. It is my second day. I'm so excited and so proud of myself. So first thing, I always have to make sure we have good sound and that we're live on YouTube. I always want to check my microphone before we get started. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to my page, make sure we're live, and we're live. And I just want to check the sound. Gonna go to my page, make sure we're live. Hi, we are live. I'm so excited. Let's share the video because we need viewers. Come watch the video. Come watch the video. Um, all right, so let's get started. On today's video, we're going to talk about Love Island, Casey, Tierra, the backlash, and the defenders of Casey and Tierra, who, for some reason, are not supporting their faves. I really want to get into the backlash, but before we get started, let's run the intro and I'll be right back. I don't know. Something's wrong with my intro, but no worries. Let's keep going. Why would my intro start? Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Just hang out with me for a little bit. And no worries. Okay, let's just keep going. We'll start with some of my views on KC, Love Island, what happened in the villa, everything like that. First things first, you have a very attractive couple. KC ends up coupled up with Anaya from day one. Or like they did like this behind the door challenge where Anaya and Casey ended up getting together, right? So it was like beautiful. We, from the viewer's perspective, this was a gorgeous couple. They were going to make it far, right? And then the tables turned. But why did the tables turn and what exactly happened is the question. So I'm going to go through a couple of think pieces that are posted by some TikTok creators. I also want to get into how people on Threads and Twitter are supporting Tierra and KC. But when you go to Tierra's page, especially Tierra's TikToks, since she's left the villa, the support is not there. The support is not there. But there are still people saying, oh, Casey's going to get brand deals. Oh, Casey's this. No, the only people that coddle men like Casey, let's get into what I'm able to share with you now so you can all see it. I want to get started with some of these TikTok videos that I found because we'll dive a little bit deeper into them. And this one, she ate. She ate real bad. So
Also, Casey's resentment for Anaya is about a couple things. One, it's obviously because she didn't pick him on the first night as the black woman, even though every other girl didn't pick him, including Trinity and Melanie. But neither here nor there. But a creator on here was talking about the socioeconomic aspect of it because he was comparing the fact that TT grew up in South Central similarly to him, and Anaya is an affluent black girl whose dad played in the NBA. So she grew up with a level of privilege that he was never afforded as a Black man. I personally didn't grow up rich, but I did grow up with privilege to a degree. I went to private school. Me and my sisters are very well educated, and I'm very thankful for the sacrifices that my mom made in the situation I was raised in. That being said, there have also been multiple men in my own life, whether they're Black, white, whatever, who have called me bougie or tried to humble me because I have a certain level of privilege, and that has translated into where I stand in my adulthood. I'm 26, but I've been a homeowner for 4 years because my mom's a real estate agent, and I learned about that stuff when I was younger. So guys who I previously dated or hooked up with, and if I made more money than them or if they were renting and I owned a home, they tried to make me feel bad for the fact that I was in a better position than them financially. Naya doesn't have to gravel and expect a man to get her to a life that she wants because she already has that. Her dad provides that, and so does her mom. But when it comes to dating a woman, every single woman has different expectations of what.
Let's get into what this creator said. Because a huge, huge, huge thing I've always said and always noticed is that Black women, I've said this before, Black women have to choose between success and support. They don't get both. And that is 100% true. Black women do not get to have support and success. It does not happen. It does not work. It is always, especially when you date within our community, it is always a point for you to be humble. You cannot celebrate. We can even talk about, we can get into it because this new love at first sight, married at first sight season, another one. Two gorgeous Black women on the show. One makes $200,000 a year as the director of human resources. She presents to the experts that match them up that she doesn't want somebody at a certain income level because she's worked so hard to attain what she has. We live in a patriarchy. Why would a man not earn as much as I have? If he has not made it his life mission to reach the heights that I have, I don't want him. We're not aligned, which I believe is 100% fair. Even the expert challenged her on that. And when he started to do it, he kind of caught himself and he's like, I don't want to challenge this. I just want to understand. What is there not to understand? Does she not deserve a partner who's on equal footing or better? There's another young woman who is a beautiful artist. She's a young Black woman. She's a beautiful artist. And that woman is matched up with a man who is like, he cleans porta potties for a living. The non-Black women are paired up with restaurateurs, data analysts. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So when I say that Black women have to decide between success and support, I am a lived experience. I lived that experience myself. You have to decide. Are you now? I'm not, of course, 200K a year yet. I'm not at 200K a year yet. But when I hit six figures, I understand that the men that are in my demographic of people who I would date normally, my age range, Black, working or physically able, aren't making that type of money. They're not. They're not. Six figures is off for Black men my age. It's not the norm. It's not the norm. So you have to determine if you want to date traditionally, and I am a traditional woman, if you want to date traditionally, these men cannot meet you where you are. And if they do, you realize how much of a strain is it early on, how much of a strain it is on them early on. It's a strain for Black men to give you the level of life that you're already able to afford yourself, or you and your girlfriends can afford yourselves. But you want the companionship. So when you see Black women, such as the woman on Married at First Sight, the Anaya, you realize that there isn't going to be equal footing. And that unequal footing, or that inequality, presents as jealousy and envy. The men are easily triggered, but most people in financial strain are, right? Because poverty is exactly that, right? Poverty is exactly that. It presents so much stress and strain. And when you meet a woman who has the financial ability to do what she wants to some capacity, and Anaya has no children, her father's an NBA player, her mother's a real estate agent, this woman has access, has always had access. The woman on Married at First Sight has access and no children. These are women that can literally do whatever they want. So when they meet a man, especially a man that they're supposed to date, those men are not on their level. So let's go back to Married at First Sight for just a second. The Married at First Sight couple is very interesting to me because not only is the woman, the HR director who earns $200K a year, not only is the man that they match her with, first of all, let me go back. First of all, she's challenged about her dating preference, the income preference that she wants from the man. She's challenged by the expert on why you won't date a man who doesn't. A white woman would not be challenged with this money factor. But they don't even have to talk about it because they understand there needs to be financial security. Black women are expected to forego financial security from their partners. That's why I really wanted to talk about this and dive into this. Black women, if it's not an overt, let's get into it. Let's get into it. If it's not an overt humbling of Black women, then there is a covert humbling of Black women. And covertly, what's done is, I am not going to provide you financial security. As a matter of fact, I might lack any security for you at all. I might not present any security for you at all. And that reminds me of the instance in the villa, which KC said, I'm popping too, so I'm not going to open no doors for you. Huh? Popping or not, I am a woman, you are a man, but you're already presenting resentment. I'm popping too is something I would never have to say to a partner. I should never have to say to a partner unless I was already feeling inadequate. And which he probably did because Anaya didn't pick him. So Anaya didn't pick him behind the door. They ended up coupled anyway. But like I said, there's this humbling. How dare you not pick me? Which was written all over his face. But before we go further into the how dare you not pick me, let's finish the video this young woman presented about humbling of Black women. Let's go back to that.
What they need, want, etc. And when you have a certain level of privilege and you have expectations for how a man should show up in your relationship because of how your dad, how your mom, how your sisters, how your whatever showed up and supported you, whether that's financially, emotionally, whatever, you know that the bare minimum is not going to cut it. None of the guys in that villa were showing effort to those girls in a way that was actually substantial until the Casa guys came in. Corey made a whole, and even though it's not elaborate, he made a whole picnic for Melanie. And Dylan did a massage thing for Kenzie, like they were actually trying. All the Villa boys specifically like girls who they don't have to put an effort to. TT's effortless. Yeah, it was easy to get with her because she's a Casa girl, because they're trying to get back to the villa. None of these guys understand that. But when it came to Anaya, she knew her worth outside the villa, but the way it translated in the villa was different because just how things showed up. And Casey wanted to show, hey, I got someone in Casa, you didn't. Surprise, you don't get everything you want, bitch. That's basically what I saw when he brought her back. And the fact that TT was doing his bidding and constantly arguing with the other girls, trying to show her loyalty to him, he was just sitting there taking it in like, yes, I got her. People love to humble Black women just in general, but when it comes to Black people who didn't struggle in certain areas of their life and don't fit that mold of how Black people are supposed to show up in this world, we're supposed to be broke and poor, and we're supposed to have all these babies and all this other stuff because of the stereotypes and the way the media portrayed us, and has been doing that since slavery and Jim Crow and all of these other things. It really breaks people's worldview. Think about how Shedeur Sanders was treated. His dad was an NFL player. He played amazing. He was also confident. Since he wasn't this getting it out of the mud Black man who was struggling, trying to get his family in a better situation, they wanted to humble him also because he was confident in his ability while also not absolutely needing this opportunity, because either way he was going to get in the league. But even if he didn't, his dad's a multimillionaire NFL player. There's a reason why there's a Black niche or Black woman niche or the rich Black auntie that is very prevalent nowadays, because a lot of people feel uncomfortable with the fact that people who they perceive as lower than them are doing better than them, whether it's financially, just stable wise, or having a better upbringing. They feel like they were entitled to that instead of you. KC could not fathom that a woman like Anaya doesn't want him. And then on top of that, he wanted to show, yeah, I'm better than you at the end of the day. Also, Casey's resentment for Anaya is about a couple things. One, it's obviously because she didn't pick him on the first night as the Black woman, even though every other girl didn't pick him.
So I love the way this creator presented the argument about the humbling of Black women. So it's not really just Casey. It is the Black woman that has treated herself well, that has amassed a successful career or some fortune, come into money in some way. This humbling was so clear on Love Island. And there's another creator that you can search up who did a TikTok about the initial face that Casey made when Anaya didn't pick him day one. He was pissed. He was absolutely upset. So not only is this beautiful Black woman successful, not pressed or hard pressed for a man, but she also didn't pick me? Because all of KC's life, I'm sure women have been around saying, oh, he's so handsome. Oh, he's so sweet. Oh, that girl's a fool if she lost you. Oh, that girl's crazy if she doesn't want to date you. You know what I mean? You know how the Black community is when it comes to their Black boys. But so KC could not understand that in this element, in the villa, this is on the widescreen. We all get to see it in real time. And it's being picked apart. It's not like an old reality show where we're all just watching and nobody's interacting and nobody's doing think pieces and there aren't tons of social media for us to dissect what's happening. It's a new world. So even though you're coddled as a Black boy in California by your community, on Love Island, no. On Love Island, you don't get to have that same behavior, right? So that was a big problem for KC, is that everybody can see exactly how you feel and what you're doing. So we get to pick it apart. We get to pick it apart. So I'm going to go to back to the Married at First Sight situation. The woman on Married at First Sight and Anaya are both two extremely successful women. And not that Anaya's success is her own, but she comes from an affluent family. And that's a problem. That's a problem for people, because some of the take was, you think you're too good for him. This is a man she doesn't know. Yes, she should absolutely, all women should be protective of their person, their body, their energy, their time, what they exert dating someone. Absolutely. You should be too good for everybody you meet until you understand that they have good intentions for you and they're worthy of your time and energy. But because she's a Black woman, it's supposed to be give it away. It's supposed to be give it away to this handsome Black man. That's why you're there, right? So Anaya is here to meet her person, win the show, etc. But no, in the eyes of the Black community, no, give it away. It's already his. It belongs to him already. And if you don't, you're too bougie. You think you're too good. How dare you? How dare you challenge what we told you you are, which is his property from jump. You're his from jump. That's when a Black woman doesn't conform in that way. They need to be humble. Not on Love Island, though. Not on Love Island, because Love Island's viewer demographic is very pro-woman and very pro-Black woman. Not in a way that's toxic or demeaning to any other demographic. Because the Black women who support and the Black women supporters who support the girls aren't demeaning to other demographics unless behavior is shown, right? Even then, it's not demeaning. It's a like a criticism that is to improve behavior or to give the Black experience and why that was inappropriate or unwarranted or could be deemed as racist, right? Black women aren't tearing down, and the Black women supporters who watch Love Island aren't tearing down other people. But the problem is, KC thought that the normal Black community behavior would get him through, right? He thought I can do the same things I do when I'm dating in the real world. No, because in the real world, the things that KC said about Anaya would be laughed about with his homies or with his sisters or his girl cousins or at school. No, not here. You don't get to have that toxic, abusive behavior on Love Island because of the demographic of watchers. We have eyes, and the camera people, producers, editors, they want to make sure that we get to see everything. Because I think there is a changing tide also with Love Island. And I think it's between Love Island UK and Love Island US. The UK hasn't caught on yet, but US understood early who their viewers were. And we're not playing no games. The US understood early who their viewers were, and they understood they had a Serena, they understood they had a Janae, they understood they had an Olandria, and they understand they have a Trinity and Anaya. Olandria, Serena, Janae, the PPG, Powerpuff Girls, Leah, This created Love Island. This created the empire that it is. Most people don't know how to take advantage of that because they will continue what Married at First Sight continues. Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, thinks that what's profitable to them is the humbling embarrassment of Black women. Love Island US understands what's profitable is the Black woman feeling empowered, feeling loved, feeling cared about, and cherished on their screens. Do you see the difference? Love Island understood that the stars were creating the Black women the Black women from the show is creating our empire. We're the biggest thing on TV, period. There is no show bigger than Love Island US anywhere. And think about what Love Island US does different than these other reality love dating shows. They're not embarrassing, dragging, humiliating Black women. That's not profitable. You can take that large scale if you want to. Think about the US. Think about the US. Think about the US economy. Think about the job market. Thinking about the administration. Thinking about the hate that we have in this country. It's because there is a targeted effort to be racist and hateful. It doesn't work. It's not profitable. Love Island US understood the assignment. Hate is not profitable. Hate on Black women, demeaning, degrading, embarrassing, and abusive behavior towards Black women is not profitable. It is the exact opposite. It is the exact opposite. That's why you see merchandise that says, listen to Black women. That's why you see merchandise that says, protect Black women. There is an empire that could be built if you take, quote unquote, the lowest, the most hated, and uplift them. Imagine what this country could be and could do if you listen to Black women. It could be Love Island US. You see what I'm saying? It could be Olandria. I say all the time that racism is not profitable. And I mean that in every aspect: health, stress, money, creativity, growth. Racism is not profitable. It's just not. Because everybody suffers. You see what happens when you deny healthcare because you want to deny healthcare to a specific group. You deny healthcare to everybody. When you deny jobs to a specific group, you deny jobs to everyone. When you deny access and money to a specific group, you're denying it to everybody. There is nothing that Love is Blind, Married Up. Can you imagine the viewership if Black women were meeting attractive, successful men on Love is Blind and Married at First Sight without the entertainment edit of humbling her, embarrassing her, questioning her morality, questioning her desire to hold off on intimacy with these strangers? Married at First Sight and Love is Blind should take cues from Love Island US. And so should Love Island, the UK, and Australia. Let's get into some more takes from TikTok because I really want to get into what's going on with KC. All right, let me go back to the screen. We're going to share this once more.
I ain't gonna lie, me and I ain't done shit.
Grandma. As soon as the lights turn off, bro,
Bruh.
all I see is Nine like this.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I told her about that shit. I was like,
Sleep, bro.
I told her I was like, I'm a very touchy person. Like,
Yeah.
For the most part, me and I have been really good until this.
I ain't gonna lie, me and I ain't done shit.
And if you guys could read on the screen, what it says is Casey is awfully disrespectful for someone who preaches Black women's empowerment. If a woman's boundaries and standards lead you to call her a grandma, then your respect for women seems conditional on them being easy to access. That's why this is another reason. This is another reason for me that I found it very strange that TT was so comfortable with Casey saying she's easy, effortless. That's insulting to me. I'm sorry. I just can't ever have a man call me effortless. Effortless is a very choice word. Easy to get along with, great communicator, not problematic, not difficult. That's fine. Effortless is choice. Effortless is a choice. My God. I don't know. I'm just offended by somebody calling me effortless. There's no way to make that sound good. Where I'm replacing the woman that made you wait. I'm replacing the woman that won't kiss you and cuddle you, a stranger. I'm replacing the woman that won't cuddle you in bed or kiss you in bed. And you're calling me effortless? That's crazy to me. Sorry, it's just wild. Sorry, it's just wild. All right, there's something else I wanted to show you guys about this whole Casey debacle. And I really want to talk about his disrespect. His disrespect was so
And if you
loud,
see your nigga defending
and it
Casey,
made
don't take
me
it lightly. That's how
so
he
mad.
thinks. That's his
Let's
ideology.
go
Don't sit around and let them
back
niggas fool
to-
y'all by saying it's just a show, it's just a show. Because for some reason, Black men are very obsessed with defending Black women being mistreated by Black men, laughing about it and shit, but then wanted to say it's colorism and you guys just love the white man when these women choose the non-Black men or look like they choose a non-Black man who treat them better. I don't understand that. That makes no fucking sense. Like y'all think these women, you want these women to stay with these type of men who y'all cheer on for abandoning these women and picking somebody else. So they won't choose a fucking wage and the white man is crazy. Like literally the whole time I'm looking at this show because at first I wasn't looking at it and I went back and look at it. I'm like the whole time Casey acting like a bitch. He's acting very weird. Red flags, giving red flags, same red flags you niggas told women to avoid. Those are the same red flags. Y'all getting mad that Naya's not falling for it fast enough. Right? She's not giving up box easily. Oh, I'm still mad because you guys didn't choose me for day one. So this excuse my actions. This nigga doing all type of shit. Y'all sit right here and defend it, and then got mad because she explored a waging man. Now she a colorist, she a race trader. Woo niggas was mad because bitches was saying like, oh yeah, Carl was sophisticated and he's classy and this and that, this and that. And this dude was like, well, what the fuck is KC if he's classy? Ghetto and freaked out. That's what y'all. That's the behavior y'all was defending. Y'all was defending that. What are you talking about? You thought he was gonna earn the classy title after the shit, the way he been acting? That makes no sense. And then it was mad calling her colorist, still chose KC ass. He chose TT. Now it's, oh, well, that what she get. That what she get. Mind you, they can't fucking hear us. They don't have the internet on that island. Right? They can't really hear us. They don't have access to their phones. He was gonna choose TT ass regardless. Y'all wanted this bitch to say the Lord to this nigga. And he would have chose TT, they would have still defend his ass. Then on top of that, they rooting for TT for being a bird. You see how easy they root for birds when they falling for the okie doke. You see how quickly they love birds when they falling for the okie doke. But when these bitches come out and start saying, yeah, this nigga fucked up. This nigga ain't shit. Well, you showed us all the red flags. You showed us all the red flags. He called you easy because you gave her pussy. You gave her pussy. And I'm
So I agree 100%. They really do not appreciate the fact that this young girl, Anaya, chose herself, put herself first, because that is not what young Black women are supposed to do. That's not what any Black women are supposed to do. Black women are supposed to be the sacrificial lamb for our community all the time. How dare you? Why are you? Who cares that you bought a house? Wasn't that the American dream? Now, when Black women do it, it's a problem. Who cares that you got 2 degrees? Wasn't that the American dream? Now, when Black women do it, who cares that you're a nurse? Nurses are loose. I've heard a lot about nurses. I've heard about nurses' education is no longer professional. It's a trade. Oh, because Black women did it. You see what happens? Black women are supposed to be sacrificial lambs. They're not supposed to put themselves first. They're not supposed to be educated. They're not supposed to be high earners. They're supposed to be the property of the community. And Black men are supposed to be coddled for, oh, you know, the system of patriarchy that they willingly uphold. That same system. Like, let's be honest about what's going on in our community. The reason that Casey was loved is because so many of us in the Black community, including the women, have not woken up to understand that Black women deserve respect. There are so many, they call them now boy moms. Don't even have to have kids, but you're now officially the boy mom. Boy moms are the women who are, I guess this has changed from pick me to boy mom. Pick me's, boy moms, whatever you want to call them. They're not supporting Casey. They're not supporting Casey, and you know why they don't have support for Casey? I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't put themselves first, and they probably don't have disposable income to support anything that he does. These are the women that supported, oh, KC can explore. Of course he can explore. Does exploring mean being disrespectful to Anaya? Absolutely not. If you go to TT's Instagram, or I'm sorry, TT's TikTok, TT and I are getting the same amount of likes. Me and TT from Love Island are getting the same amount of likes, but you want me to believe that the women who supported KC and TT and KC Defenders are a supportive group of people that still want him to get brand deals and want KC and TT to get couples deals like Nick and Alandria? That's not how that works. I'm sorry. Stop trying to, and lastly, let me sit up straight so y'all can see and hear what I have to say. Lastly, stop trying to humble and embarrass Black women. It will not get you far. And if you take a page from Love Island USA, you could probably build an empire by loving and supporting beautiful Black women. That is the end of my show today about Do You Defend KC? If you go on to TikTok, make sure you follow me. My name is liv_well_LA. I'm much cuter on TikTok. I don't know why. It's a great camera. I'm much cuter on TikTok. I'm funnier on TikTok. You should watch me on TikTok, but I'm glad that you're here. Be sure to subscribe, like, share the video. I am just flabbergasted because now that KC and TT are out of the villa, you guys that defended KC and said he can explore, he's not disrespectful. This is what the show's all about. You're not supporting anything that he's done. You're not supporting Tiara, TT in any way. And you guys were so full of shit and you know it. You didn't support KC. You supported the disrespect of a Black woman. You didn't support KC and TT. You didn't support his right to explore. You supported the blatant disrespect, ridicule, and humiliation of a young, beautiful, successful, dark-skinned Black woman. And look how you played yourself. You look like a fool, and you always will. And Jesse Wu, this is for you too. Bye, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed my live, and I'll be back because we still need to talk about Nolan Wells today. I am back to talk about Nolan Wells, the twists and turns of the case, why people are pointing the finger at. We'll get into it, girl, but just make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can come back and you can get this Nolan Wells tea, because his funeral is tomorrow. Monday is his funeral. We should have autopsy results from the state already. Why has the state of Mississippi not released the autopsy results for Nolan Wells? And a lot of people are speculating because she wants to cover up his death and the circumstances around his death, but she doesn't know how to release an autopsy that's going to be fraudulent if the independent autopsy paid for by Colin Kaepernick, done by the family, shows something different. Why hasn't the state of Mississippi released Nolan Wells's autopsy? We'll get to the bottom of it. Love you guys. I'll be back later today. We'll talk about Nolan Wells.